What's up everyone, and welcome back to Top5Central. When you think of school, you think of really strict rules, a lot of homework, crappy lunches, and mean teachers who put a lot of pressure on you not to mess up. Well, sometimes teachers don't exactly set like a good standard for themselves, so today we're looking at 5 teachers who got arrested. But yeah, if you've ever had a crappy teacher, leave a like on the video and comment the worst story about them. I'll never forget freaking Miss Wilson, the devil teacher lady, but anyways, with that said, let's get right into the video. Number 5. Everyone knows that a teacher's desk is off limits to students, and that's probably a really good thing because no kid should be getting their hands on what this guy kept in his. I mean, he'd been a teacher at this school for a while, but when he got arrested for possessing and taking heroin, literally nothing was done for 3 months. Basically, the police just didn't inform the school, and the school had no reason to suspect anything, so it took an anonymous group to ring in and let the principal know what was going on. After that, his desk was searched immediately, and it turned out he was using it to store drugs, as well as needles and everything else he needed. He even had needles in his pockets when he got arrested, which meant he was carrying them around while he was monitoring the halls and talking to kids. Obviously, he was arrested on the spot, but it's still pretty crazy that nobody was told after his first arrest, and that he ended up carrying on teaching for so long. I guess sometimes parents should listen when their kids say their teachers are totally weird. Who knows, they might be right.
Michael, some parents are wondering how the school leaders here could miss the fact that one of their teachers, Patrick McLaughlin, was arrested 3 months ago for possessing heroin. Some also wondering why that arresting agency, the Martin County Sheriff's Office, didn't notify school leaders here about that arrest. It ultimately took an anonymous tip from someone in the community for police to come here and find those drugs inside the school.
An anonymous caller to Treasure Coast Crime Stoppers broke the case, telling police this 3rd grade teacher, Patrick McLaughlin, was involved in drug activity. Monday, Port St. Lucie police investigated and found drug capsules inside his desk and syringes in his pockets. They arrested him at school, but this was not the first time McLaughlin faced drug charges. 3 months ago, police arrested him for drug possession. Still, he went back to teaching.
Unbelievable.
That's horrible because his children are being exposed to that. How do we know that, what else was going on in that classroom?
A school spokesperson says they only run background checks on their teachers.
Number 4. If you believe cartoons and TV shows about middle school, then getting your lunch money stolen is actually pretty common, but normally it's the bullies doing the taking. With that said, it wasn't punks in leather jackets picking on the nerds for their allowance this time, because it was actually the teacher who was responsible. Yeah, you heard me right. This teacher from LA was stealing lunch money from her students, and she got away with it for a super long time. You're probably asking how long. Well, she was actually at the school for over 8 years, and in that time she made almost $8 million. It was the perfect crime for a while, but then other teachers started asking questions. I mean, they were super curious about how she could afford 2 houses, tons of cars, and expensive holidays all the time. As soon as it looked like something was up, they checked the security cameras and found videos of her stuffing dollars into her bra, as well as filling up her bag too. Thankfully, she was arrested and had to pay all the money back, but a lot of parents were shocked. And were probably on the edge of keeping their lunch money in like a half bank, half vault backpack thing.
School accountant has been sentenced 5 years for stealing nearly $2 million in lunch money over an 8-year period. 48-year-old Judith Oakes was sentenced Thursday for embezzling the money from the Rialto Unified School District. She was caught on camera in August 2013 stuffing lunch money in her bra, and officials believe she's stolen over $3 million in her 25-year career. On a salary of $77,000 a year, authorities became suspicious of her lavish lifestyle, which included 2 homes.
Number 3. Teacher-student relationships are another thing that are all over TV, but you never expect them to actually happen in real life. With that said, when this 7th grade teacher decided to coach tennis over the summer, she got to know one of her 15-year-old students a little too well. The whole thing is obviously super gross, so I'll just give you the facts. They ended up in a relationship that lasted between 6 and 8 weeks, and they spent time at each other's houses basically all the time. In fact, they probably would have carried on seeing each other, but other students got suspicious and told another teacher what they thought was going on. Now brace yourselves, because it actually gets way worse. I'm not joking, the teacher ended up back in the news when it came out she was pregnant. Not just that, but tracing the pregnancy back to when it started, it obviously happened when she was seeing the kid. So yeah, that was proof enough to get her fired and charged with a 2nd-degree felony, but to be honest, I just feel way worse for the kid. Like, that's really gonna suck growing up.
Police say a Northwest ISD 7th grade teacher arrested last week for having an improper relationship with a student is pregnant. In fact, she's 8 months along, and police do not know who may be the father of Catherine Harper's baby. What they can say is that they believe that she's married and that during the summer they believe she was involved with a 15-year-old. Fox 4's James Rose is at the Trophy Club Police Department with more. James.
Well, Brandon, we know what Catherine Harper is accused of. After reviewing some court documents today, we now have at least a peek inside the investigation. A search warrant affidavit says the 15-year-old boy first met 27-year-old Catherine Harper when she became his tennis coach at Tidwell Middle School in Roanoke, where Harper is a 7th grade English teacher. Harper is charged with a second-degree felony, improper relationship between an educator and a student. Investigators say the relationship lasted for about 6 to 8 weeks during the summer, and the two met multiple times at both her Fort Worth home and the student's home in Trophy Club.
Number 2. So I think we could all agree that most people on this list did something seriously wrong, but I've got to be honest with you guys, I actually feel really bad for this teacher. Like, sure, she got arrested, which makes it sound like she did something horrible, but once you get the full story, it's obvious she wasn't the one who screwed up. Basically, she was speaking at a board meeting to ask why the chair was getting a pay raise, since all the teachers she knew hadn't been given one in years. She was allowed to talk, but when the vote passed, it didn't make any difference, because the raise was agreed to be the right decision. So she was then allowed to speak again, but she was cut off halfway through, and then suddenly a policeman was escorting her out. Like, to be fair, she did argue at first, but then she grabbed her things and agreed to leave. Which is what makes this next thing so confusing. I mean, she was literally slammed to the ground and arrested by the policeman outside, and she seems to have no idea why, even though the policeman is being super violent and saying she's resisting. So she was let out after the arrest, but there was still a huge protest because it was obviously not the teacher's fault at all.
We have not gotten raises. How are you going to take that money? Because it's basically taking out of the pockets of teachers.
Stop right now. That's not germane to what's on the agenda tonight.
Yes, it is. It's a raise.
Come on now.
How are you going to take?
What's on the agenda is the superintendent's contract.
With a raise.
With a
raise.
Well, that's not talking about the raise. It's
I am. I'm saying, how are you taking the raise when you're basically taking from the teachers and employees under you, when we have class sizes that are that big? This directly speaks to what you have just voted.
Another comment?
A comment.
She wasn't talking to you. She was talking to.
It was comments for
Let's go see this. No.
Get this on video.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't. Can you explain? Are you kidding me?
Stop resisting.
I am not. You just pushed me to the floor.
Number 1. Okay, so now we're back to teachers who definitely deserve to be arrested, because I don't think there's any way to make what happened here seem okay. I mean, this guy was a totally legal teacher who was allowed to be on school grounds, but the way he acted makes it seem like he definitely shouldn't count as qualified. Like, he was teaching PE, and he was supposed to be getting the kids to run around, but the way he decided to motivate them is honestly scary. Instead of making them race from one end of the playground to the other, or just getting them to play tag, he stripped down totally naked and chased them that way. Clearly it worked because all the kids totally freaked out and ran as fast as they could to get away from him. In fact, most of them ran straight off the playground and ended up hiding in classrooms because they were so scared and confused. The weird thing is, the dude didn't have an explanation for why he was acting that way, and neither did the staff. So basically, parents were left to figure out their own story about what happened, but hey, at least those kids probably didn't go back to PE for quite a bit after that.
I believe this, it was all caught on camera. Local teacher caught with his pants down on a playground. That bizarre incident happened on a grade school campus.
And it unfolded right in front of the kids. KCAL 9's Tom Wade is live at Carthay Center Elementary with more on what happened, this bizarre incident. Tom.
Yeah, Elsa, it happened in the playground here just behind me. It's not clear how many kids saw this whole disturbing episode play out, but parents are very worried about the long-term damage. Cell phone video shows part of a disturbing episode where a man took off all of his clothes on the playground of Carthay Center Elementary School. The man in the video was teaching a PE class at the school when he began stripping naked in front of the children. Parents are understandably mortified.
He was supposed to be helping them learn, PE, run around and have fun. But he undressed and started chasing the kids while he was naked. And then the kids ducked and dodged and ran into some of the classrooms.
And there's our video on the top 5 teachers who got arrested. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe to see whenever we upload a video. Also, if you have your own top 5 or top 10 idea, feel free to search my handy form in the description to submit it. With that said, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.